Greg Cody, I wanted to ask you, because you're our football expert around here, when the Bengals, a notoriously cheap franchise, historically cheap, laughingstock NFL cheap franchise before Joe Burrow, that was perfectly happy just making money every season as a mom and pop shop that didn't was reputed in NFL circles as not caring about winning the way the other spenders want to spend. They are faced and say they're going to sign Hendrickson, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, all of them. Now, that would be signing everybody. Higgins was hurt this year, but that would be signing everybody from a team that wasn't good enough to make the playoffs. And that'd be that the amount of money that it would take to keep all of those players, now that you've had to give Joe Burrow money, the finances of all of that work how? Because while it's very nice to say you will keep all of the players, and you can tag Higgins as well, I don't see how you can have those 4 players and then have other players when Jamar Chase is going to want $40 million a year. And now you're paying Burrow and Jamar Chase, and now you've got to pay all these other guys. Well, your defense was already bad last year in a way that it didn't matter how good Chase and Burrow were.
They've addressed the defense. Al Golden.
That's true. Al Golden, by the way, put on a few LBs.
Okay. I don't think that's necessary.
Since he's been at UM. I'm just saying, he looks fine.
What are you doing?
I'm just making a comment.
Haven't we all?
Just making a comment.
It's unnecessary.
We established he's got early onset paterno.
He's a public figure.
How is this your comment when I ask you for your football expertise? Al Golden has put on a few LBs since being at my
the NFL did increase its spending limit by, $22 million or something. That'll help. They have to sign Hendrickson and Jamar Chase. To me, T. Higgins is sort of the odd man out here. I would hate to think that because they sign these guys, it means they're going to have to deplete the roster elsewhere. But in the AFC, when you have Joe Burrow, you're a contender. When you have a healthy Joe Burrow. But it's a much tougher conference than the NFC, and at best they're the 3rd or 4th team in the conference, so they're in a tough situation. But based on their penurious history, I give them credit just for the public intent of re-signing.
Well, you're sort of obligated to, right? Because once you've gotten to the situation where you have the expectations of being a contender because of who your quarterback is, you have to do the things to keep your quarterback happy. My question to you is, as we talk about this, though, given that so many people are salary cap experts now, even though none of us are salary cap experts, even though we're obsessed with all of the money, I'm just asking you this generally. Are there a lot of teams that that didn't make the playoffs that you got to pay all 4 of their guys? That a team that hasn't made the playoffs, when what you got from that team last year was the rarest of things, the great quarterback play who doesn't make the playoffs, the healthy quarterback play that is great and also not great enough to make the playoffs because of how they started. When you're being fiscally responsible, when you have to win in the margins, because even if they're advancing $20 million on the salary cap, you have to be better at the salary cap than other teams. Paying the 4 guys is what anybody would do. What hurts is you have to get rid of somebody in order to have the rest of the team, because the thing that's broken about the Bengals from where I'm standing is architecturally, if you get that season healthy from Burrow, you cannot fail to make the playoffs. Like you're broken in a way that doesn't portend well for your future, when Burrow was having all the great games and you were still losing when he put up 30.
Right. And you also can't shortchange the offensive line so that all of a sudden Joe Burrow is at risk. It's really a no-win situation in that you can't sign all 4 of those guys and do right by the rest of the roster. That's why I don't see how they can sign Higgins. To me,
don't you just franchise him? Does it? He just gets a tag.
Yeah, but it's still tagging him gives him a high number. You get some value there with the tag, but you're just kicking that can.
Burrow's saying the same thing. He's saying there's all sorts of stuff I can do with signing bonuses. There's all sorts of stuff I can do for cap relief.
Yeah, that's what Philadelphia's done. They've made an artwork of finagling the system legally to do all that.
Patriots did that for a very long time.